Hello and welcome again. Good morning. It's very early in the morning. 7 o'clock in the morning is very early. I think they should put this program at a different time of the day, don't you? But in any case, welcome to class 921. I want to do 2 more paragraphs from yesterday. Well, 1 paragraph I did yesterday concerning the Mohicans. Remember the Mohicans? Okay, it's a professor. It's a teacher, literature teacher, and that students need to have read. Necesitan haber leído ya, o casi todo, the last of the Mohicans, el último de los Mohicanos, the last of the Mohicans. And the teacher says, the class is on a Friday. It's Friday afternoon or Friday midday. He said, we've run out of time. Ya no hay tiempo. We've run out of time, to run out of. We've run out of time. For the Monday class, para la clase de lunes próximo, for the Monday class, bring a 1-page synopsis, a 1-page. ¿Qué tipo de sinopsis? Pues sinopsis de una sola página, o una página, 1 page, con guioncito en medio, a 1-page. Bring a 1-page synopsis of the last of the Mohicans. All right, that's easy. I can do that, a 1-page synopsis of the last of the Mohicans. Yes, and I hope that by now you've already read most of it. I hope that by now, a estas alturas para ahora, I hope that by now you've already read most of it. La mayor parte de dicho libro, most of it. Yes, have a good weekend. All right, so the teacher says goodbye, but the teacher says, don't forget, a 1-page synopsis, a 1-page synopsis. 2 more. We're on page 38, paragraph 304. We still have a lot left. All right. It's funny how, esto es verdad, this is true. It's funny. Fuera de contexto. It's funny. Si un nativo dice, it's funny, casi siempre está diciendo es curioso, no es gracioso. You say, no, Marta is very funny. Marta es muy graciosa, eso sí. But it's funny. It's funny. Cuando dice it's funny, means es curioso. No decimos it's curious. Curious es la curiosidad, como el gato. Curiosity killed the cat. Curious. Estoy curioso por saber. That's different. I'm curious to know. Tengo curiosidad por saber. I'm curious. En español se suele decir tengo curiosidad por saber. No se dice estoy curioso por saber tanto, no. Pero en inglés sí. I'm curious to know. I have curiosity, no. I'm curious to know. But it's funny. Yeah, es curioso. Justo ayer me dijeron algo parecido. It's funny. And here it's funny. It's funny how there are some people who, no matter how much you help them, they never seem to appreciate it. Yeah. In fact, the more you help them, the less grateful they seem. True. This is true in some cases. But it doesn't matter. I help people anyway. Yeah. There's a saying in English that I think if I translate it, you understand in Spanish. No good deed goes unpunished. No good deed goes unpunished. No, N-O, good deed, ninguna buena obra va sin un castigo. O sea, sales castigado. Al final, para qué hacer buenas obras porque rebota y mal. Yeah, te ha pasado. It happens sometimes. It happens often, eh? And this says, it's funny how there are some people, es curioso que haya alguna gente, who, no matter how much you help them, they never seem to appreciate it. No parecen agradecértelo. Por mucho que les ayudes. No matter how much, por mucho que les ayudes, o les ayudas, no matter how much you help them, they never seem to appreciate it. To appreciate es agradecértelo. Apreciarlo, vale. to appreciate it. Yes. It's funny how there are, es curioso como hay gente. It's funny how there are some people who, no matter how much you help them, they never seem to appreciate it. In fact, the more you help them, the less grateful they seem. Cuanto más les ayudas, menos agradecidos parecen. The more you help them, the less grateful they seem. This is true sometimes with people who suffer envy. Que sufren envidia, es envidia destructiva. If a person envies you, if you help them, it only increases the envy. If you give them something, te ayudo, te conseguiré ese trabajo, and they envy you, but you get a good job for them, they envy you even more. It's a strange illness, envy. Miguel de Unamuno said, la envidia was la gangrena del alma española, he said. All right. It's funny. It's a type of envy that I never experienced growing up in the United States. The type of envy I have experienced in Spain, I've never seen in my life. However, it's true that when I lived in the United States, I was young. So I wasn't paying attention, or I wasn't in a position, perhaps, to experience envy in my direction. Here in Spain, yes. Very quickly. Very quickly. It's funny, because you see, I'm a happy-go-lucky person. I'm a happy-go-lucky person. ¿Cómo? I'm a happy-go-lucky person. Soy una persona feliz, afortunado. Happy, lucky. Happy-go-lucky is campechano, inocentón, o sea, alegre. Always, all my life, I've been a happy-go-lucky person. Yeah. And so I think some people don't like that. Cierta gente le fastidia el bien ajeno, o lo que perciben con el bien ajeno, les fastidia. And so, y les gusta el mal ajeno. All right. So, and so I think that's the problem. Because everything I approach in life, I approach with a good disposition. Hey, yeah, let's do it. Cuéntame más. Yeah. And so that rubs certain people negatively. Rub is frotar, rub. Por eso se dice vix vaporu, frotar, rub. But that rubs some people negatively, significa afecta, o sea, les unta de negatividad. That rubs some people negatively. And here we have, it's funny how there are some people who y luego cláusula inyectada aquí, who, no matter how much you help them, por mucho que les ayudes, no matter how much you help them, they never seem to appreciate it. In fact, the more you help them, the less grateful, agradecidos, they are. Los muertos agradecidos, ¿los conoces? No? One of the most famous rock groups in the history of the United States is the Grateful Dead. Los muertos agradecidos. Viene una poesía, I can't remember what, the Grateful Dead. And it was a rock group from California, the Grateful Dead. All right. So, to be grateful, I'm grateful for what I have. Estoy agradecido por lo que he recibido en la vida. I'm grateful. Yeah. I'm grateful for your time, the time that you spend watching me. I really appreciate it. I'm grateful for Marta's help and friendship. I really appreciate it. I'm grateful for the possibilities I have here with a television studio, good cameras, good lights, good microphones, etc. I'm grateful. I really appreciate it. And people who are grateful in life are happier than people who are not. It's just very simple. The best things in life are very, very simple. And happiness is very simple to achieve. It's through simple attitudes, simple ideas, and simple behavior. All right. It's funny how there are some people who, no matter how much you help them, never seem to appreciate it. In fact, the more you help them, the less grateful they are. All right. And one more, and then we're finished with the book for today. No pinta bien este nuevo. Yeah, it doesn't paint. It pinta bien. No decimos pintar en inglés con eso. It doesn't write well. Yes. Here's a list. Here's a list of items. Yeah. Here's a list of items we need to buy for the school year. Basically, they're the same things my mother had to buy for me when I was your age. All right. Yeah. Here's a list. Tengo una lista aquí. Yeah. Here's a list of the items, los artículos, los ítems, vamos. Here's a list of the items we need to buy for the new school year. Empieza el cole. Vuelta al cole. Otro más cuadernos, más blocks, more pen, everything. Un triángulo, un compás, yeah? Compass and things, yeah. Let's see. Here's a list of the items we need to buy for the new school year. Basically, they're the same things my mother bought for me when I was your age. So I'm speaking to my son. He's 11 years old. And I say, Jack, here's the list of items we need to buy for the new school year. Basically, they're the same things my mother bought for me. My mother had to buy, tuvo que comprar para mí, had to buy for me when I was your age. Yeah. So, this is an easy paragraph. Here's a list of the items we need to buy. Here's a list of the items we need to buy. Podríamos insertar that. Here's a list of the items that we need to buy. Pero solemos saltar that. Y soltarlo también. Here's a list of the items we need to buy for the new school year. El nuevo año académico. The new school year. Basically, they're the same things. They're the same things my mother had to buy for me. Tuvo que comprar. O tenía que comprar. Had to buy for me when I was your age. When I was your age. When I was young. When I was your age. Yeah. Grammar. Wow. The big book. Grammar. You'd better watch out. You'd better not cry. You'd better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Más vale que no llores, eh? Oh, más vale que no hagas pucheros. You'd better not shout. Más vale que no grites. You'd better not shout. You'd better not cry. You'd better not shout. You'd better not cry. You'd better not pout. Es antomatopeico. Hacer pucheros. Pout. Why are you pouting? I'm pouting. You'd better watch out. You'd better not cry. Más vale que tengas cuidado, eh? To watch out means be careful. You'd better watch out. You'd better not cry. You'd better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list and checking it twice. He's going to make sure who's naughty or nice. Travieso y majo. O malo y bueno. Santa Claus is coming to town. All right. You'd better. You had better. She'd better. I'd better. He'd better. She'd better. They'd better. We'd better. We would. We had. Esta contracción de we'd, I'd, you'd. Es contracción. You had. Es una frase, es una expresión que no tiene ninguna lógica gramatical. You had better. I had better. Dice, yo tuve mejor. No tiene sentido. Yo había mejor. Had, del verbo haber. Yo había mejor. It doesn't make any sense grammatically, but it's the most common way of warning somebody. Es un aviso. Ojo, cuidado, advertencia. O sea, más vale. O sea, la expresión más vale con cierta precaución o cierto peligro. Más vale que no vuelvas a decirme una cosa así, porque si no, you had better. Siempre es you'd better. You better not speak to me that way in the future, eh? I don't appreciate it. I don't like that kind of attitude. You'd better change your attitude. If you want to continue coming to this class, you'd better work harder. You'd better make a stronger effort. And you'd better pay more attention to me in class. Otherwise, the door is over there, eh? Está asustado, eh? Estoy asustando. You'd better. Now, I'd better, más vale que me vaya, porque si no, voy a llegar tarde. I'd better leave. I'd better. You'd better. He'd better. They'd better. And you need to be careful, because you had better or implies a warning. Implica advertencia. Ojo. It's serious. You had better. And I've told, this is the third time I'm going to tell the same story of Vicente el Ingeniero. And his functional boss was in Germany, Señor von Schwerin. Von Schwerin, okay, era aristocracia. I remember I saw von Schwerin. Vicente was an engineer, a technical engineer, ingeniero técnico. And he was about 1.70 meters. He wasn't very tall. And von Schwerin was 1.95 meters. Teutones. And Vicente, of course, communicated to Germany in English. And Vicente's English wasn't perfect. But Vicente was very, very engineer, very square head, very meticulous, details. And he wrote a letter to he wrote un fax. I think it was a fax or un telex. Eh? This is in the La Prehistoria. This is in the prehistory. To Mr. von Schwerin, he said, debería mandar las componentes, And he said, you'd better. And he showed it to me. He said, I sent this to my boss this morning. Is it okay? And I said, you already sent it? Yes. And I said, you already sent this? Yes. Oh my God. I said, Vicente, next time come to me before you send a telex, not after. Because you just said to your boss, said, más vale macho que, porque you'd better send the components. It's strong language. You'd better. Es tan corriente esto de expresión, I'd better, you'd better, que saltamos el sonido de you'd, esa contracción de you had, you'd better. Más vale que estés aquí mañana puntualmente, porque si no, cierro la puerta con llave, si no estás. So you'd better be here. You'd better be here on time. You'd. Hoy es la de, no? You'd better. But this expression is so common que saltamos el sonido de. You better. You better. You better. You better watch out. You better not cry. Nadie dice, you, en la canción, you'd better watch out. You'd. Se escribe así, pero se canta. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout, I'm telling you why. All right. Now you should is deberías. Es una recomendación. Richard, deberías usar los ápices más. Entretiene. You should use the pencils more. Should I? Should I use the pencils more? Yeah. Which pencil is in my right hand? The yellow one or the purple one? The yellow one. So the one in my right hand is the yellow one. And the one in my left hand is the purple one. Is that correct? Yes. El que está en tu mano derecha es el amarillo. The one in your right hand is the yellow one. And the one in my left hand? The one in your left hand is the purple one. All right. You see? It's fun. We can play with a lot of English. Well, I think you should. Not you'd better. You'd better use the pencils more. Es una advertencia. Mi jefe dice, más vale que empieces a usar los lápices más, si no, te cambio el profesor. You'd better. Richard, yes, boss. You'd better use those pencils more, eh? Okay. Now you should is simply a recommendation. You should use the pencils more. How much time do we have, Marta? About 5 minutes. All right. Because I'm going to sneeze. I have to do 5 minutes. All right. You'd better. You should. Now you must. Es instando. You must. Debes por todos los medios encontrar una manera de usar más los lápices. Anda, porfa. You must find a way. You must find a way. You have to. Es ya obligación. Tienes que hacerlo. No hay más remedio. Tienes que hacerlo. A partir de mañana, lápices por un tubo. You have to use the pencils every day now. Why? Because the boss says, Richard must use the pencils every day. And so you have to. You have no choice. I mean, you have to. I have to pay taxes. I never said, yo debería pagar mis impuestos, la verdad. No, tengo que pagar impuestos. I have to pay taxes. And if you don't pay your taxes, you'd better be prepared for a potential inspection. If you don't pay your taxes, good luck, because you'd better pay. Más vale que pagues tus impuestos. If, for example, Marta says, este año no voy a pagar nada, a ver si se enteran. And I said, Marta, no, you'd better pay. Más vale que los pagues, ¿sí? You'd better pay. All right, let's go on to expressions. Let's begin our expressions. The expression of the day, I don't know. Here we are on page 72 at the top, I think. Yes, 72 at the top. To draw a blank. To draw a blank. To draw a blank. Quedarse en blanco. No lograr algo. To draw a blank. Cuando traté de recordar de dónde lo conocía, me quedé en blanco. When I tried to remember where I knew him from, ¿de dónde le conozco? ¿De dónde le conocí? I drew a blank. Me quedé en blanco. I drew a blank. Hasta ahora no han logrado dar con el asesino de gatos. Wow. Hay alguien que asesina los gatos. I didn't write these sentences. So far, they've drawn a blank in the search for the cat killer. The cat killer. Wow. To draw a blank. That's interesting. Because to draw has 3 meanings in English. Yesterday on the radio, I said draw has 2 meanings. I was wrong. Now I realize draw has 3 meanings. Draw es dibujar, to draw a picture. All right, to draw. To draw also is sacar, como sacar agua de un pozo, to draw water from the well. También sacar una conclusión is to draw a conclusion. Sacas conclusiones del pozo. Okay, to draw conclusions. But to draw also is in the Old West, los pistoleros, yeah? Draw. Yeah. Who's the fastest on the draw? To draw. If you draw first, probably you will kill your opponent. Okay, to draw. 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 All right. You know, many, many years ago, when I was I think I was 10, maybe 10 years old, I was in my grandmother's house. Well, my grandmother's house. And there was a big chest. A chest is no es un cofre, cofre es pequeño. Y no es un baúl, baúl. But it's a big chest with old wool blankets, mantas de lana things. And under, I found a revolver that belonged to my great-grandfather, mi bisabuelo. A revolver. Wow. And it was a revolver with a long barrel, cañón largo. And it was a Colt 44, Colt 44, from 1880. And wow, and I showed it to my grandmother, said, that's your great-grandfather's pistol. Wow. And I noticed something. It was very heavy. And so in the movies, to draw fast, it's impossible. That's impossible. But in any case, interesting story. See you tomorrow.